Okay, we're going to make sure that unlike last week, this is actually good to go. We're going to make sure that everyone can hear me. I'm live on Instagram and YouTube because last week we had, let's say it's a bit of a shit show. So we're going to make sure that everyone can hear me on YouTube. We're going to make sure that everyone can hear me on Instagram. And then we're going to get going in regards to the topic of discussion. So I'll just wait until we've got a few people, well, a fair few more people on YouTube to let me know if you can hear me. If you're on Instagram, give me a thumbs up and let me know if you can hear me. And then we're going to get going. We're going to get talking. Hello, Amy. If you're on YouTube, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, unlike last week when it went a bit pear-shaped. That's away from Peg, so I'm guessing that's a thumbs up. So, as always, we're here to discuss dog training. Thank you. Awesome. All right, lots of thumbs up on YouTube. So, like I said, as always, we are here to talk dog training, mainly reactive dog training. And I want you to come in with your questions about your reactive dog, about what you might have tried before, why you're struggling, and generally how I can help you. So feel free to drop in some questions. Aussie the Border Collie, welcome. Barclay, Bristow, hello. Abby, Justine, welcome. Drop some questions in the chat. Let me know what's happening. Abby, hello, mate. Yes, hello to you too. I've been with you all day. I don't need to say hello again. But Donna, hello. How are you? Whenever you're ready, throw some questions at me. Let me know what's going on. Let me know what you're struggling with. I'm just sat here. My pizza's currently cooking. I've got a beer to have that was bought by one of my lovely clients today. We just finished up another boot camp. It was an amazing boot camp. Some really awesome testimonials, some good feedback from people, some amazing results, and it was just overall a very amazing week. Keith Crackett, can I ask about resource guarding, please? Yes, Keith. So what we find is that, well, we don't specifically deal with resource guarding at its core. You know, if we have a serious resource guarding issues, then we don't really deal with that. We are reactivity, aggression, and off-leash specialists. That's what we do on a day-to-day basis. But we find that a lot of when people tend to think that their dogs are guarding, a lot of the time that these behaviors are just stemming from the dog having a massive lack of fulfillment and being just generally bored, no boundaries. And when you put in a good training program, this like guarding behavior that we tend to hear about a lot just tends to like dissipate. It doesn't really exist anymore because that all stem from a massive lack of boundaries, lack of fulfillment with the dog and the owner. But any serious resource guarding, we just don't touch it. That's not our wheelhouse. We deal with very serious aggression and reactivity issues, and that's what we get some amazing results in. Hello, hello, Amy. Drop in some questions. Let me know what you're struggling with. Keith just jumped in first, but if you're on Instagram or YouTube, I'm here for the next hour with you, answering all of your dog training questions. I've got a pizza brewing up in the oven. I've got a beer, and I'm with you for the next hour. So feel free to ask any dog training questions that you might have. If you don't know generally about what we do, we run reactivity boot camps, and we run a virtual and in-person training program where we fix aggression, reactivity, get dogs really reliable off the leash, and get those dogs going back to public places. Willow, hello, how are you? Drop back into those group classes sometime soon, please. It's been very nice to see you. E-collar question, fantastic. One of my favorite topics. E-collar question, my dog doesn't seem to feel the stim unless the collar is so tight, it slightly restricts his breathing, which I'm not comfortable with. Do wing contacts make much difference? So yes, definitely try different contact points. I would ask, like, what breed do you have? That's gonna be my first question. Dependent on the breed, how hairy the dog is, that's going to be a massive contributor towards what kind of advice I give you. But then in regards to your dog not feeling it, it being on too loose and too tight are both going to affect the sensation as well. So tell me what dog you have, how hairy they are, what attachments you have, and that way I can give you a better answer to your questions. And what activities can we do to fulfill our dogs? Wow, what a question. So that is a very, very broad question, a very good question, but a very simple one to think is find a game that your dog loves. Primarily, this is going to be done through tug, the game of tug, and then get your dog off the leash. Also, you can mix in some scatter feeding, but I always call those the three musketeers, right? The three things that you need to do to fulfill your dog and like generally make them feel a lot better. That's really going to be through getting them off the leash every day. That's going to be through playing with them. That's also going to be with them using their nose. And scatter feeding is a really good, easy one for that. Fuck off those licky mats and throw them in the bin and just scatter feed your dogs. Edel Terrier, dense double coat. Absolutely. So that's why you're not getting very good contact. So Barclay, you need to go and get the wing detachments. I would not be having, and I would also you might even need to have a little bit of a trim, a little bit of a shave to really make sure you're getting good contact. Have you done training before, Barclay? Have you e-collar trained your dog or are you trying to do it yourself? Like I said, guys, I'm here for the next hour answering all of your dog training questions. We had fucking amazing transformations this week. We had some crazy, crazy dogs. God, we had healers, we had German Shepherds, we had a Kelpie Staffy mix, lots. We had 2 Border Collies. We had lots and lots of stuff. It's not lots of stuff, lots of dogs, should I say, and all had amazing transformations as well. How can we reduce prey drive for cars, trucks, and for my German Shepherd? You need to play with your dog, your German Shepherd. You need to play with him once a day, twice a day, whatever that is. Scratch that itch. And then you need to punish him for trying to chase cars and trucks. He is going to die if he gets hit by a car or a truck. So we need to tell him that that is completely, utterly unacceptable and extremely dangerous. So you need to, satiate his desire to chase, catch things, but then also let him know that that behavior is dangerous and I don't want you to die. I love you. I love you dearly. You are my dog. So I need to go through punishment with you and tell you that that behavior is not okay. That makes sense. Demonts 44. Donna, great e-collar question. Bentley is quite a furball. He does have the attachment. Yes. Is this the same Donna? Donna, is this the same Donna with Bentley that came to the boot camp, our boot camp? But yes, if it is, she needed the wings as well. In the process of training with a trainer, fantastic. Just make sure that trainer knows what the hell they're doing with e-collar work, Barclay, because that can be a very, very slippery slope. My dog won't play anywhere outside of the house. Can you please give me some advice? Yes. So I would recommend to cultivate motivation in the game through only doing that, let's say, in your back garden, your living room, and then slowly taking that game outside. I'd also recommend to, if you have lots of toys lying around the house, to get rid of those toys and not allow them any access to that away from the game and away from what you're trying to make better. And then what was I going to say? What was my last one? I was on a roll then. I was going to give you this, and I'll come back to it. I had a bit of a brain fart, but we went over hiding the toys. We're going to make sure that we start off in the living room and then build our way out to different environments. Oh, and that's what I was going to say, is that play is cultivated. It's not something that happens overnight. So you're going to need to work on that bit by bit, day by day, and take your dog to different environments. Punishment with play is also very good, not in the way that you think about it, but making sure that we can steal the toy as a punishment if they tend to check out or let go. You might want to use a leash to redirect them. So you redirect them, keep them in the game. If they drop the toy, you punish them by stealing the toy and taking it away, making them chase it again and earn the toy. And making sure that your energy is up as well, right? That you're bringing the heat, you're being fun when it comes to the game. A lot of people are very boring when they play with their dogs, and that's why their dog doesn't check in and doesn't, in quotation marks, doesn't play. But a lot of dogs that come to our boot camps, they play, but it takes the owner 2 minutes of me shouting at them, saying, "Oi, be fun, bring the energy up, bring it up, be fun with your dog." And then as soon as the owner lets go and is a bit of a kid, the dog opens up and starts to play. My GSD loves to be chased with her toy for her fulfillment, whether it's by us or our other dog. I saw a video where this is a reactivity. Is this reactivity or her being playful? Where did you see? Sorry, who just asked me that? Where did you see that your dog wanting to be chased with a toy is reactivity? Is this reactive or being playful? Yeah, I don't know how your dog how your dog's enjoyment from getting chased with a toy is her being reactive. Ask that question again. Explain to me a little bit more what you mean. Demons, cheers, mate. What punishments would I give when she's reacting? So that's a very good question, and one that we don't. That's a very broad question because a lot of people are going to do punishment very wrong. We try not to give out exactly what we do when it comes to punishment, purely because people are going to take that, not understand it, not apply it properly, and then make things worse. Generally, what the punishment is going to look like is creating an aversive event or not a nice event when the dog does the thing. Does that make sense? Your dog goes to lunge at the car. We're going to create a very not nice situation when the dog does that to communicate with them that we don't want that to happen. That could be through leash correction, or no, I shouldn't say corrections. That could be through like a leash pop, isolating the dog, tonality, body language, so many different things. We have a protocol that we go through when it comes to punishment, a very in-depth protocol that we do away from the dog's trigger. Before ever implementing that in a real world setting. So before I would ever expose a dog that is traffic reactive to traffic, I'm going to teach that dog punishment away from the traffic so that the dog already knows what I'm saying to them. They know it's coming from me. The pressure that I have to use is a lot less, and the overall result that we get happens pretty much immediately or a lot faster than ever trying to do that in the moment. Hope that makes sense. It was a video while scrolling social media. Oh, that's a dangerous that's a dangerous thing to do. I can't remember where from. I see so many training videos. I don't know what's right and what's wrong. Yes, it is a very, very conflicting industry. Probably one of the most conflicting industries in the world. People are going to tell you their opinion. All that I always say, is look for people with evidence that they fix reactivity and that they help with reactivity. Look for videos, look for reviews, look for trainers who are going, hey, look at this dog that was crazy and reactive and aggressive. Now look at this training process and now look, it's fixed. If somebody can't provide that for your eyes on social media and their website, then they can't do it. Because we live in a day and age, right, where we have a phone in our pocket all the time. We always have a phone in our pocket. Any person in any kind of business, if they can get a really good result in their business, they're going to pull that phone out. They're going to take pictures and videos and post it online so they can stay in business, earn money, and be good at their job. But unfortunately, trainers don't do that, and that's because they can't fix these issues. And that's why we post so much evidence to say, hey, fucking look, we can fix these issues. So if you need help, we can help you. I do get confused as what's right and what's wrong. I booked in a phone consultation. Oh, you've already booked in a phone consultation. That's perfect, Em. Let me know if you're in Perth. I have a question. Recently seen you guys never never to use prong with a flexi. Confused though, as Jacob does this exactly this in the TWI videos with recall. So what do you mean we never use a prong with a flexi? Where did I don't know what your username is. Moom, I'm going to call you Moom. Moom, where did you see this? But yeah, dependent on who the dog is, why we're using it, we'll use a prong with a flexi. Reactive 8-month-old rescue Malinois settles down really well in a crate after play. Fantastic. Training walking, however, not able to settle down with herself. Sorry, I'm just going to do something. My light keeps flickering in and out. There we go, guys. Sorry. Just had to fix my light. Where were we? Settles down really well in the crate after play. Walking, however, not able to settle down herself. When is it Pegs, I want you to re-ask your question if that's okay, please. I'm not too sure what you're asking there. Are you saying that she can't settle in general? She can only settle after playing in her crate? My 7-month-old Corso has yet to meet other dogs. As a trainer myself, it's tough to find other dogs with mental spirit and confidence to work through Corso around. How would you address something like this? So what we need to do is you need to find people who are actually going to be able to have generally good dogs, right? It's hard to find people with the same training, the same confidence, the same neutrality. You're going to have neutrality as a big scale. So you're going to have people who, or not people, sorry, dogs who are very antisocial, dogs who are very neutral, and then dogs who are very social. So finding a dog who can mix with your dog well, and a dog who has a lot, or an owner who has a lot of control is going to be hard. But do you have friends or family who've gone through training before as well? We've got an absolute shitload of questions here, so I'm just trying to find what's best to do first. Where are we? M. Okay, let's go from here. Yes, booked in for Thursday. Awesome. All right, Instagram questions done. Who is next on YouTube? I'm struggling with the reactivity. Every time he spots a dog or a smell, he starts pulling me. Nothing changes. Okay. So, Erin, what have you tried so far in regards to helping your dog's behavior? Have you done any training? Have you worked on loose leash walking? Have you worked on any kind of reactivity? Do you have a foundation that your dog understands? Do they have a good food motivation? Do they have a marker system? Do they have certain things that they actually do they have a training foundation where you're able to communicate with them what's right and what's wrong? If that's not the case, then we might need to build a foundation before going and attacking any reactivity directly. I've seen you say it in a recent live. Not you was the last live. I think Kelly. So every dog is different. Every situation is different. It depends on what dog we're dealing with, why we might be using that piece of equipment. What you're going to find is a flexi leash is going to put tension on a collar. Does that make sense? So the flexi is going to put tension on the collar. And then in turn, if it's a prong collar, that is going to be getting desensitized. And we don't want that. So we want to avoid that at all costs sometimes. But if you have the right trainer, you have the right dog, you know what you're doing, you're going to be able to avoid that. And we're going to be doing it for a reason. So different strokes for different folks and also for different dogs. The situation may need that piece of training at certain times. She can only settle if I put her in the crate. At no stage does she settle down herself outside of the crate. She basically never stops unless I'm inside the crate. So pegs, what I want you to work on is I want you to start doing a bit of tethering. I want you to start by tying your dog to the table leg, a dumbbell in the house, anything that you're able to use to restrain the dog, and then just go about your daily life to help you. That's going to make it easier for you. You may get some barking, you may get some whining, but that's going to be part of the process to learn to get your dog to learn how to settle. Got a friend's dog who I'm working with to try and sharpen up the course. So we're working to build himself and the dog's confidence. Yes, trying the tethering. Thank you for confirming that's the right approach. Yep, just working it bit by bit. It's going to be, it's not going to be an overnight success, but it's something that's going to be very, very important. All right, who else have we got? Instagram, YouTube. Here we go. Front door reactive. Don't know what a red castle is. A red castle cross Kelpie. Maybe it's a red healer. You're trying to say a red healer cross Kelpie. Awesome dog, but so loud and once set off, no way to get through to him. New South Wales resident, so e-collar is out. How do I train a strong no? You don't need an e-collar to train a strong no, but it's definitely going to be something that's going to help you. If you're in New South Wales, we have lots of clients who are in New South Wales and do our programs who have lots of reactive dogs and have got some amazing results as well. So if that's something that you are wanting to fix, then what you should do is you should head into the description. You can book a call with me. It's completely free. It's not like a charge call. And I can run you through how we do like virtual sessions and virtual programs, but we can completely fix your dog from the other side of the country. You get constant access to me. We do one-to-one sessions, but it's going to be a game changer. Who else do we have? So like I said, we run 5-day boot camps. Okay. The 5-day boot camps are there to get your dogs non-reactive, non-aggressive, get them off the leash, and still a happy life with them, right? So a lot of people are genuinely struggling with being able to take their dogs anywhere. They can't go to the beach. They can't go to the cafe. They can't take them for a walk. They can't have them on the leash. And they find so much conflicting information about what's right and what's wrong, what they should and shouldn't do. But throughout the boot camp, all we're going to do is we're going to give you very clear, concise feedback about what you should and shouldn't be doing with your dog and how to fix these issues. Your dogs will come on the Monday with a bunch of dogs who they cannot be in 100 meters of. And on Friday, they will all be in the pub together. That's what we do on a week-to-week basis. Every single week, we're at the pub with a bunch of ex-reactive dogs. This week was the exact same, and it was, a lot of happy people. How do I get my reactive dog used to my family members coming to a visit? He's only been around my daughter and I. Marletta, that's a very big question, but like I mentioned to somebody earlier, it's not how do I fix this in the moment? It's do I have the right tools in my toolbox to deal with this at all? So it's not not that you were asking if it was, but it's not like a magic pill that we can just say, hey, just do this specific thing, and it's going to be all good. It's making sure that we have a really good foundation, a clear communication system with the dog, so that you can say to your dog, hey, this is good. Hey, this is bad. And also making sure that you have put your dog in the right positions every day to set them up for success through getting them off the leash, playing with them, giving them a good life. And if you are ticking those boxes for them, then it's going to be a lot easier for you to give them clear and concise feedback on good or bad behavior. Me again, cattle dog, fucking autocorrect. Vet Reactive as well. We'll book a session shortly. Like I said, Otto, just it's literally in the description. You go onto the website, book a call, and you can just chat to me for half an hour about your dog. It's completely free, and it's really going to help you. I forgot to say he's a 4-year-old long-haired German Shepherd, and this is Arian, and you were struggling with your reactivity. Yeah, so we deal with so many German Shepherds. Like we had 2 in this week. We usually have about 3 to 4 German Shepherds on each boot camp. They are our biggest customers as such. But they're all very similar, right? They all generally have a lack of fulfillment. We don't really see German Shepherds these days coming in who are having their needs met. We had one, Reggie, this week especially, who just never been off the leash. His owner couldn't trust him off the leash because obviously he's reactive and doesn't like dogs, but he wasn't having his needs met. So he got him off the leash, played with him, taught him some clear communication away from dogs, not in the presence of dogs, and then it was a very easy fix. I have a 1-year-old pitty that's very anxious and fearful at times, especially around loud new people and loud voices, noises. How do I build the confidence? Oh, there you go. For Arian, if you click on in the link on the chat, I believe Susie or Maggie would have just thrown in a link there for you all. And that way you can literally just click on that link and book a call rather than go through the whole website. But in regards to your pitty who's feeling nervous, especially for environmentals, so loud noises, loud things, we want to start playing with our dogs more often. Okay, so getting them really reliable off the leash, having them in public places and meeting their needs. But play is going to be one of the most important things, because if we have a dog that is obsessed with a game, we can use that game to build confidence. So let's say I have a dog who's obsessed with tiger, especially a pitty, right? We're going to use that game to put them in situations that make them feel a little bit apprehensive, a little bit scared. And we're going to build their confidence through that. They can't be jovial and scared at the same time, right? Dogs are very simple creatures. So we can push them to a point where they're going to get a little bit apprehensive. They can't do it anymore. They let go of the toy. In turn, I'm going to have them on a leash, steal that toy, make them earn it back. Once they get hold of that toy again, I'm going to take them back to that same spot. Once they get there, they're going to go, you know what? Last time I was here, I lost this toy. I really don't want to lose this toy again. Maybe I'm going to hold on for a little bit longer. And then from there, we can build confidence. We can add noises. Box feeding is a very good thing for this as well. So like a dopamine box, but just adding certain things which are going to build confidence in your dog on a day-to-day basis. I have a 14-week-old puppy. He's reactive to other dogs. He barks and pulls on the leash. How to introduce good neutral dogs. Without sounding rude, Sab, why is your 14-week-old puppy reactive? If it is, then that's simply going to be that you're probably not meeting their needs. Sorry, a few of my mates just rocked up to say hello, but I'm very busy, so I couldn't walk out there and say hello to them. So they're waving bye to me. So what? Oh, it's okay. Australian cattle dog and a Jack Russell cross. Well, that's going to be one of the reasons that you might have a bit of an issue there, because that's going to be a bit of a spicy dog. But you're going to make sure that you need to focus on giving that dog a really good outlet, and then also restricting how much they can do through good crate time and sleep, and making sure they're getting the right sleep. Thank you for clearing that up. Get my dog off the leash and out of the muzzle is my priority. But how do we handle other antisocial off-leash dogs? All I have is a can of pet corrector. So in regards to what to do with off-leash dogs, initially, before you have the right the right foundation and the ability to communicate with your dog, don't take them to settings where you're going to deal with off-leash dogs. Once you have that in place, if off-leash dogs come over who are okay and aren't causing an issue, then this is where the analogy that I use, right, is that when I go into shopping centers, or let's all jump in on this. You go to shopping centers, and when you go in, those people are there trying to hand out flyers, right? And if you're anything like me, you get a bit inside when you're walking towards them, because you know there's going to be some awkward small talk where you're going to have to say no. But when I get past that person and they ask me if I want the flyer, I can't punch them in the face, okay? I might want to inside because I fucking hate having the conversation, but just because I don't want them to give me the flyer and I don't want the interaction doesn't give me the right to then lash out and assault the person trying to give me the flyer. So yes, we might have an antisocial dog. Yes, we're not going to put them in situations that are going to make them fail on a regular basis. But if a happy-go-lucky friendly dog is just coming over and approaching them and not causing any issues, that doesn't give our dog the right to then lash out and be unfair with them. I hope that makes sense. I also just got given my pizza by my wife, which is amazing because I'm very hungry. All right, more questions, guys. What else have we got? We get lots of different dogs that come to us. We get dogs who are hypersocial, dogs who are like your typical Labrador that just pulls on the leash, never comes back, jumps over the furniture, has no rules. They come to our boot camps. And then we might have dogs all the way up until our dogs who are on the dangerous dog list for literally killing other dogs and have to be permanently muzzled and have a big collar on, who are trying to get off that list. So our boot camps and our training methodology as such is, I sound like a bit of a cocky fucker here, but so good. And it can spread across so many different kinds of behaviors that there's not really a dog that we can't help. So if you have questions, feel free to send away. There's not really a dog that we can't help. We don't deal with separation anxiety, proper separation anxiety. It doesn't really exist anyway. That's going to be a bit of a fucking topic of debate or a bit of a spicy subject to bring up. But your dog's not anxious, more than likely. Your dog's just a bit underfulfilled and has FOMO. I know you might have been told they have anxiety, but more than likely that's not the case. Unfortunately, when we do have serious separation anxiety, it's not very nice. It's fucking horrible to see. And we personally don't deal with that, just like we don't deal with severe resource guarding. Any like minor guarding issues are usually cleared up in our programs anyway. My dog did a board and train for a month. He was perfect for the trainer, then came home and went straight back to being a nightmare. Why would the boot camp be different? The reason that is the case is because your dog, well, SM2, just talk some shit. Let me know how long your dog was at that board and train for. But the reason that that's not worked is because there was no training for you. Even if there was handover sessions, right? What are you getting with that trainer? An hour, 2 hours, 3 hours? So free sessions for 1 hour. That's 3 hours for a 4, 5 week boot camp, board and train. What are you really learning in that time? So there you go. So this person, SM2, if YouTube and Instagram, if you're here, guys, listen to this one, right? And how stupid this can be. This person dropped their dog off. Sorry, SM2, I'll get to your question in a second. This person dropped their dog off for a month with a trainer. A whole month of their dog being trained by somebody else. This usually costs in Australia a month board and train. probably about six grand, $6,000 to $8,000, probably more in some cases. That person would have spent hours upon hours with this dog, and that SM2 got 1 hour with a trainer, and that was the only handover that they got. 1 hour to learn what a dog trainer has taught their dog in over a month. How the hell is SM2? I wish I knew SM2 your name. That would help. It sounds like I'm talking to a robot, but how the hell are they going to figure out how to maintain those skills? That is impossible. It's literally like burning money. I sound like a wanker saying that to you, but it's true. It's like being like, oh, 6 grand for a board and train, sweet, and just burning the money because you need so much more time. And getting to your to answering your question, the reason the boot camps are so different is because we teach you. We spend 5 days with you. 30 hours we spend with you. And most importantly, do you know what we fucking don't do? We do not touch the leash. We don't handle the dog. We don't touch your dog. You do all the training yourself. That's why we get such good results. And that's why it's so amazing, because we spend 30 hours with you, watching you and teaching you how to fix the issues, and not a dog trainer doing it for you and you not knowing what's happened. What else have we got, guys? Instagram, who have we got? Any more questions on here? Let's see, have a look who's on here with me. So like I said, guys, I'm here. How long have I been on? I'm here for another 25 minutes asking or answering, your dog training related questions when it comes to reactivity, aggression. Maybe you have questions about e-collars. Maybe you're apprehensive about the use of e-collars and how this can help you with your dog. There's a lot of people on YouTube right now sitting here. So ask me some questions. You probably have a dog. That's why you're sat here. So ask me what's going on, what you're struggling with. Is it leash manners? Does your dog fucking bark and lunge at the end of the leash? Do they bark at your front window? Do they have zero recall? Have you seen loads of trainers before? What's the issue that you're currently struggling with? And that way I can give you some honest feedback. So I'm not going to beat around the bush. That's not, if you know much about me, that's not really my personality. I don't really, unfortunately, I don't have a filter. I get told off by my wife for it a lot, but I tend not to mix my words. So I'm going to tell you exactly how to fix your dog. And if you've been told a bunch of shit by a trainer that doesn't actually work, I'm going to tell you that that's a bunch of shit if it is. That makes sense. But I mean, if my dog is being neutral, but the other off-leash dog with no recall is being aggressive. Oh, mate, Barclay, that's a tough situation. Without sounding dramatic, I'm going to say it's a 2v. It's a 2v1. More than likely, I'm going to drop my leash. I know this sounds crazy. I'm going to drop my leash, allow my dog to create as much space as possible when the dog gets close enough so that I can then grab that dog and try and control it. Okay. But it's a shit situation to be in. That's why I don't go to public places that often with that many dogs where it's very busy, because people can't train their dogs and people are lazy and don't train their dogs. And unfortunately, people like you who are committed get on the receiving end of that, because you're out there trying to train your dog properly and do the right thing. And people just go down to the bloody park and go, you know what? I'll just let my dog off the leash. No recall, no training, but I'll let them off the leash. And it's sad. It happens everywhere. It happens in the UK. Me and Jake and Kirky speak about it all the time. It happens in America. Happens here. But we can only do so much. Is the limitation of food a requirement for training? As I'm a softie, but if play is a strong enforcer, we can use that. Otto, what do you mean by that? Is the limitation of food a requirement for the training? Do you mean only using your dog's daily food for training, or only training with your dog's daily food allowance? Let me know if that's what you mean. Because if it is, yeah, we want to be able to reward our dogs for good behavior. But if you just give your dog food from the bowl each day, how are they going to find that rewarding? They're not going to enjoy it. Yes, Otto. So that exactly to your question is that why would your dog find food motivating if you just put a bowl down every day? People say my dog isn't food motivated. I always laugh and say your dogs are food motivated, because if they weren't food motivated, they'd be dead. Okay, because they wouldn't eat any food, they would die. We just don't use it in the right way. So we're not saying to starve your dog, Otto. No dog trainer is saying to starve your dog. We talk about using windows of opportunity. So opening a window up and saying to your dog, hey, you know that how you usually eat from the bowl? Well, for the next month, 2 months, that's not going to happen. We're now going to eat through training. Here's your opportunity, 2-3 times a day. Would you like it? And your dog goes, nah, put the bowl down later, I'll have it then. And you go, okay, no worries, but there is no bowl. And your dog might not eat for the day. Not because you didn't feed your dog, you offered to feed your dog 3 times. It's that your dog thinks they're going to get it from the bowl instead. So yes, sometimes it's not nice, but if you can't, I sound like a wanker here. If you don't have the ability to restrict or put easy, how can I word this without sounding like an asshole? If you don't have the ability to put simple boundaries in place with simple stuff like food in the house, by limiting your dog's access to toys and only playing with them at certain times and putting boundaries in place like that, how on earth are you ever going to put boundaries in place when it comes to stopping problematic behavior like reactivity? So I would say that sometimes we need to take our emotions out of it and realize that these are animals. I love my dogs. My dogs are my world. I'm getting a third dog very soon. But I'm going to hold them accountable for good and bad behavior. And I'm also going to use food, toys, to cultivate a better relationship with myself. So don't think of it as like being a softie. Think of it as like building your relationship, if anything. Eddie, what's going on, mate? He's one of the boot campers of the week. I wonder if he's still on or he just jumped on and jumped off. Eddie, give me a thumbs up if you're still on the call on Instagram. Yeah, spicy mix, but doing the work. Mental stimulation, other energy outlets, 18 to 20 hours sleep. He sees a dog, he barks and wants to go there. I won't let him. Insecure. So if if you are giving, if your dog is, if what you're telling me is that your dog is off the leash every day, getting exercise, you play with your dog every day, they get 18 to 20 hours of sleep, they're on a good diet, they're not in pain. If all those boxes are ticked, then we need to go through punishment with your dog to let them know that that behavior is not okay. A lot of people don't tick those boxes and just try to stomp it out the dog and find themselves doing 1 step forward and 2 steps back. What dog are you getting? I'm getting a Turv. Lots of different ways to pronounce it. Tervuren, Tervuren, but basically a Belgian Shepherd, a family of the Belgian, belongs to the family of the Belgian Shepherd, but a Turv. That's what I'm getting. Basically a fluffy Belgian Malinois. And I'm doing sport with it. It's my sport dog. I'll be running a 10K with my 2 dogs on Sunday. There'll be parts of the trail where it is too narrow to be free across. Is it better to allow the dogs run in front of me or behind me? That is such a specific question. I don't know. Let your dogs run in front of you and get a better 10K time trial time. Put them on a harness and put a waistband on and let them just drag you for the 10Ks, and you'll be a weapon. You'll get it done in like fucking 5 minutes. Break some records. But yeah, not sure on that one. Do your best. Have one behind and one in front. They can balance each other out. Get one running backwards and one running forwards, and then you running forwards. There's been a dick now. Like I said, guys, I'm here answering all of your questions. I'm here for another 15 minutes. Let me know what you're struggling with. I'm here eating my pizza, having a beer. Got bought beers today by one of our clients on the boot camp. Oh, sorry, no, it wasn't a client on the boot camp. It was a dog trainer who came over called Shannon. She came over from the East Coast to shadow us for the week. So she literally flew. If you don't know, if you're not from Australia, Australia is fucking huge. And she flew like 5 hours across the country to come and see us and look at how we do things because she wants to be more like us. Not more like us. She wants to take in some more information, should we say. What pizza and beer are you having? I'm having a pepperoni pizza, and then I'm having this is what I was given to me. It is sorry, I messed my finger up earlier. Slammed my finger in the door. A mountain culture juice trip. So a bit of a hazy, juicy beer. It's very nice. I train a lot, but I like a good beer. I live a bit of a fat man's lifestyle when it comes to food, but I train it off somehow. 3-year-old female black Dutch shepherd walks a challenging SOS. Sylvia, I have so many questions about what you just said. You have a 3-year-old working dog. And like I said to somebody earlier about a working dog, they have a job. Well, they need a job. And if you don't give them a job, they will become self-employed. And the job that they choose is more than often going to be shit. They're going to do something bad because they find it fun. More than often, our working breeds are going to choose something of high arousal. What's fun and highly arousing? Reactivity. So they usually choose something crap like that. So I want you to give your dog a better hobby, a better outlet, and then I want you to start involving some very clear and strict communication. And if you don't know how to do that, like I said to everyone, if you go to the pinned comment on the chat on YouTube, you can book a call with me. I want to make sure you understand this. It is completely free. You just literally book the call. It's completely free. It's half an hour. You talk shit with me or the trainers, Nick and Abby. We run you through how you can fix your dog's issues and give you some amazing advice. How can play help my nervous reactive dog not go much play drive at the moment? So you need to cultivate play. Sometimes though, unfortunately, play is cultivated. This is going to be some big words, I think, because how I can explain it. But to have motivation for play, sometimes we need to cultivate that through deprivation. So we need to deprive our dog of the ability to have an outlet somewhere else, like walking around the fucking block. That's bad anyway. Don't take your dog for a leash, walk around the block. They don't like it. It's boring for them and for us. Play with your dog. But like I was saying, we're going to not do that, which may mean that you have to bore out your dog a little bit. You're not taking them for the walks and they're sat there and they're going, fucking hell, I'm bored. There's not much to do. And you go, well, you know what? Here's a little game for you, game of tug. And they go, no, I'm not really interested. And you go, okay, no worries. I'll see you tomorrow. And they go, it's been 3 days now. I haven't been for that walk. And you go, I've got this game here for you. They go, go on then, I'll give it a go. And by depriving our dogs of the ability to have an outlet somewhere else, they're then going to take that energy and their desire to have that outlet somewhere else into the game. When we have a good motivation for the game, we can start to then instill that in different environments. First your living room, then your back garden. Maybe your back garden when noises are playing, you've got the speaker on, or as you're playing, you're grabbing your dog and you're holding them by their paw. And then when they put in the effort, you let their paw go. Maybe as you're playing with them, you throw a bin in the air or something in the air that makes a loud noise, and you're making them more and more confident, and you're taking that game to different environments. Sorry, guys, I kind of burped halfway through then. Pizza and beer, not a good combination. I think I answered that question. Play is cultivated sometimes through deprivation. and knowing how to play. And if you don't know how to play, we've got a completely free course called the Behavior Bible. Without being biased, it is the best free course in the fucking world. It is amazing. It's called the Behavior Bible. Go onto Google, Behavior Bible, sign up, get a free course, instructional videos on how to train your dog. To introduce dogs, is it just simpler to have these dogs work with handlers around each other in the presence? Yes, initially, yes. And it's the same as we'll do in our boot camp, is that we're going to have the dogs neutral around one another, spend time together first, and then we're going to try to have them more social. I always give a stupid joke and say in the boot camps about my staff member Nick. I say the first time I met Nick, I didn't go up to him and kiss him. Right? He'd probably push me away and think I'm a fucking weirdo. I shook his hand and I went, you know what, mate? Nice to meet you. I'm Adam. I'm your boss. But if I kissed him, he'd probably push me away and he wouldn't be very happy. If I kissed him now, I reckon he wouldn't mind it because we've built a relationship. We know one another. We know each other's boundaries. We know what we like. We know what we don't like. He probably wouldn't let me kiss him, but you know what I'm saying. We want to be able to introduce our dogs slowly, get them letting them get to know one another, and then pushing them into more social and intense settings. Hello, Sarah here. Well, hello, Sarah. Hope you're well. Hope you're going to have a good weekend. I have a Jack Russell who pulls incredibly hard when his collar or harness is put on, and walking him has become such an effort. It's unenjoyable for me and likely harming him. I agree, Sarah. That's shit. It's shit for you and it's shit for him. What we need to do is I want you to build food motivation. I want you to have a marker system. And then I want you to sign up for the Behavior Bible. When I say sign up, it's completely free. And you can learn in there of how to do everything that you need to fix your reactive dogs, pulling, motivation, and build more motivation around you. Behavior Bible is completely free. It's an amazing course and it will help you with all those simplistic issues. We have 8 minutes left. Ask me as many questions as you want. Pizza and beer is a great combo, bro. Yes, it is. You are correct, B. Jester. It's a fantastic combination. Oh, it's Bo. Bone Rex. I'll see you tomorrow anyway, mate. Bone Rex are two superstars from one of our boot camps. Bo has a Belgian Malinois called Rex. Rex is an absolute amazing dog. He can be a bit guardy sometimes. He can be a bit... No, my wife said, no, he's fine. He can be a bit guardy sometimes, a bit of a dick. But overall, he's a fantastic dog who have his life literally changed from our boot camps. Completely off the leash, stopped chasing other dogs' balls, non-reactive, good on the leash, and living his best life. All right, guys, let's keep this going. We've got 7 minutes. I'm here on a Friday night when I could be on the couch, cuddling my wife, watching a true crime documentary. But I'm here giving you free advice. I'll be honest, our programs aren't overly cheap, right? We fucking change people's lives in our programs though. So I'm here giving you free advice, completely free. And I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm not going to gatekeep advice from you. Like I said, I don't really have much filter. So I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to be doing with your dog to fix these issues, not hiding anything, just telling you, hey, do this, do that. And that's what's going to help. So ask away. Do you help with human reactive dogs too? SM2, you're on a good one tonight. Some good questions. Yes, absolutely. I can't say it's my favorite because I like helping everyone, but human aggression cases are some of my most favorite cases to deal with because it can be or everything's stressful for dog owners who have reactive or aggressive dogs. But human aggression is it's scary, right? And it can end very, very badly for the dog and for the person. So we absolutely help with human aggression in dogs. We are specialists at human aggression. How much of your training is adjusted pending the specific breed? For me, I try and develop as close to a protocol as I can. So, Kai Throne, there's I don't know. I don't know if this is what you're saying, that you have a certain protocol for every dog, or you have just one protocol. But we don't go into specific breeds. It's a Jack Russell and a boxer and a German Shepherd. It's not like they're going to learn completely differently, right? They have um, certain traits through maybe fulfillment and what we might need to do with them through play or other little things. But generally, most of the time, 99% of the time, it's going to be the same. We're going to get the dog off the leash using an e-collar, condition it the same for every single dog. We're going to play with the dog. That's where it may differ, how we might play with them. We're going to teach them a no the same. We're going to teach them a yes the same. How they respond to that no, we might have to adjust dependent on the genetics of the dog and how the dog is, but pretty much all the same, mate. But we change certain things to certain breeds. How do I get a reliable no marker? You condition it away from your dog's trigger. You don't teach it in the moment. It's like trying to teach a yes marker in front of your dog's trigger. It's fucking ridiculous. Let's get food out in front of your dog's trigger and throw food around, say yes, and expect your dog to be able to learn and comprehend what's happening. It's not going to happen. The exact same way as having a no in front of a dog is just a recipe for disaster. Anything in front of your dog's trigger for the first time is going to be a recipe for disaster. We need to build a foundation away from your dog's trigger, away from what you're struggling with. Then once your axe is sharpened and once you're ready to go, then you can go and attack it directly. Do you come to real Oz for boot camps? Or do we need to trek west for a week? Not freaking driving, and Jetstar won't take Duke. Otto, maybe we might have something in the pipeline in the future, mate. But what we do offer, though, in the meantime, is we offer a virtual program for you that gets the exact same results. So, Otto, I want you to go onto the pinned link in the chat, book a call with me, and we can chat for half an hour, and I'll tell you exactly what that looks like, and I'll get you all the same results to the boot camp without even bloody seeing you. And if I don't get you that, you won't pay for the program. It's completely free if I don't get you all those results. So it's a win-win. Book a call and have your life changed. Do many people travel for your boot camp? Absolutely. Brody, how far did 17 hours. So we had an owner drive last week 17 hours across Western Australia to come for our boot camp. 17 hours. If you're in Europe and the UK, you'd end up, I think you'd end up in like fucking Russia. I don't know. That geography is probably pretty bad right there, but you would get very far in England if you drove across Europe for 17 hours. This person drove across Western Australia for 17 hours to get to us. We have people that come from all across the state. We have a lady that's driving across from Victoria, which is on the other side of the country. It's going to take her God knows how long, thousands of Ks. So yes, we have people come from all across the country to come and train with us. No, they don't change dependent on the breed. How do I teach the foundations for a no marker? Swift Sight 82. Unfortunately, I'm probably not going to give you that information, only because I sound like a dick when I say that, but purely because you're probably going to do it wrong. You're probably going to do it wrong, and you're probably going to mess your dog up. If you want to know how to do it, I can show you through a call, or I would recommend you to a trainer who can help you. Go and see a trainer, but you're probably going to fuck it up if you do it by yourself. That's why dog trainers have a profession. It's like asking, I don't know, it's like you trying to bloody tile a house, bricklay a house. That's a profession. It takes years of work and an apprenticeship to do so. And just because I buy a brick doesn't mean I can lay a brick. And just because I buy a dog doesn't mean I can train a dog. I've spent years of my life learning it. So I would recommend to find a dog trainer who can help you, if that's us or that's somebody else. Because unfortunately, when it comes to reactivity, a lot of people really mess up their training because they try and do it themselves when they have no idea what they're doing. Yesterday, my family drove up while my pit bull was chained up. Oh, fucking, this is a big one. My pit bull was chained up on the porch with a choker collar. When he saw them, he aggressively stopped barking and bit her. Marletta, I'm probably going to screenshot. I'm just going to screenshot your name. Just screenshotted your name. I'm going to send you a message because that comment is something that I cannot even answer over this. I'm going to ask why your pit bull is chained up at the front on a fucking choker chain. And if your dog reacts aggressively, why it's at the front when your family are coming over. But yeah, let's try and help you as much as possible. I'm going to send you a message. I'm Zena's mum. That's some massive changes in just 5 days. You guys are absolute champs. Highly recommend. Thanks again. Oh, Krishnan. So we just had Zena. Zena's a Rottweiler. She just came down for our 5-day boot camp. She did absolutely amazing. Eddie, one of the boys one of her sons came down, did the 5 days. Amazing results. So I'm super happy for you guys. And yeah, we do get some amazing results. Rani, sorry, I thought it was Krishnan. Well, Rani, I'm excited for you guys. You have a very nice dog, and I'm excited for the future that you're going to have with your dog now as well after we've been able to help you with all those issues. All right, guys, I've gone over a little bit of time, but let's go one more question on each. One more question on Instagram, one more question on YouTube. I've made myself a pizza sandwich, 2 slices in one. Ask me one more question on each, and then we're going to bounce. Ask me anything you like. Get those fingers tapping because someone's probably racing you to ask the last question. Maybe not. All right. If there's no more questions, I think some people do not understand what reactive dog means. Nice. I mean, I would agree, Marlette. I don't know what your comment means, but nice. What do you feed your dogs? We feed our dogs life-wise. My dog Floyd is on a bit of a weird diet at the moment because he's got some health issues, but life-wise kibble is what we feed our dogs. All right, everyone. Once again, we can help you from all around the world, right? We have clients from all across Europe, all across the country in Australia. We have clients in America that train with us virtually, and we fix their reactive dog. If you want us to help you, literally, if you're on YouTube, just click that link in the chat. Book a call with me. It's completely free, and we can help you. I hope if you were just looking for advice, that you've had some of your questions answered, and you've worked your way through some of my sarcastic answers and responses. But I say it with love, because I just want to be honest with you guys and give you some real feedback, which is actually going to help with your dog's behavior. So if you need help with your reactive dog, we're here in Perth. We run 5-day boot camps. And if you're across the world somewhere, we can also help you as well. Have a fantastic night. I'm going to get off now. I'm going to go eat my pizza and finish my beer because I think it's cold now. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you soon.